And welcome to another great episode here with 100% Fresh with Two Chef Mission. I am Tony.
I'm Melissa. We're introing.
Yeah, we're introing.
Introing.
And we are really excited about today's episode because it's something that we feel so many families and just individuals have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Yep, so this is going to intro our Chef Bites mini-series of meal planning tips.
Yes.
And today we're going to talk about how to find the meal plan that fits you.
Yeah, and I think that's a great way to really find what the best way to make sure that you're getting enough food in your day is. Yeah, and there's a lot of people who don't eat, maybe one or two meals a day, and they're just like, I'm busy. And I think this is a good way to kind of show people, like, no, there's ways to be able to make sure that you're getting all the meals that you need in a day.
As personal chefs, one of our mini jobs is that for clients,
Yeah.
we have to find which meal plan type also fits their family best, because it's very much based on
Family size,
it was like
individual
each
tastes and
dynamic
preferences,
of
like,
client.
There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. So, with that said, some of the different types of meal plans are generally going to be kind of a more strict one, a bit more of a flexible one, and then there's also always like meal kits / meal delivery and personal chef services.
Yeah, and that's always a great plan if that's just the life you live, where you need to just have it delivered to you and just have it ready for you.
Yeah, but when we're kind of trying to figure out what's going to work for families, it's kind of structured around a few questions. One of those is, do I want to have a very structured outline of just recipes, menu of the week's meals, recipes, and shopping list, so that it's like I know what I need, exactly what I need, and all I have to do is go out and shop or have it delivered, and then I have my stuff for my meals for the week, and I already know what I'm doing.
Right.
And the next question is kind of like, are you wanting any sort of wiggle room in the sense
so that way
of
you
like
can kind of decide, let's say tonight I'm not really feeling what meals we have straight out planned, but I want to maybe pick something up, or I want to order in, and we just decide to pick something that's from a local restaurant or something.
And then your next question is going to be, what's your budget? Because if you're on a very strict budget versus kind of a more flexible one,
right,
that's going to kind of differentiate on what plan is going to work for you. The next zone would be, do you have a bunch of allergies or picky eaters that you have to fit this meal plan into? Because we all know someone in our family
who has a specific way of eating,
or allergies too.
That too,
it's now it's
allergies
both.
Have become so much more common to see.
Yeah,
especially food allergies.
And we also
everywhere.
We've had clients that have very strict dietary preferences and just restrictions in general. So that's definitely in those questions. Now, within those questions, if you're the type of person that's like, no, I need that structure and I need that like exact guidance, most likely you're kind of more towards you just want very much structure, or you also could be someone who's not necessarily as comfortable in the kitchen.
Right.
Might be just starting out with all of that.
And that's
not always, because you also could just really want the structure and new recipes.
Right.
But that one you're going to be more... That one you're going to be more of a strict meal plan where, like I said, you're getting exactly what you want, like recipes and shopping lists and all of that. That is also going to be one that if you are very much sticking to a specific budget, that's going to be your best fit too, because with all of that, you can figure out ahead of time what is each thing going to cost,
Right.
and stick to it.
Right. And that's super helpful, especially when you are, like Melissa was saying, throughout, you're more budget conscious and you have to stay tight to your budget, just to make yourself comfortable, because there are some people that's just how they feel comfortable.
Yes. And not only that, but like if that's something that you're like, okay, I need this, but I also need guidance in how to do this, or just wanting to pay for a plan that is just weekly and you get your recipes and stuff, it's usually on a much less expensive scale.
Yeah, because if you're just getting the plans and you're not having, let's say, somebody else
shop or
for
cook
you
for you
or cook
anything
for
like that.
you, that's really where a lot of the higher prices end up getting charged.
Yes.
Especially around services like meal planning.
Yes. Now, of course, that's going to be your more strict meal plan. The next one that would come into it is if you're looking for a bit more wiggle room. You also could still be working to stick to a budget. The only difference is that you also might have a bit more of your like staple items on hand.
Yeah.
Because for the next one, it's more of like a flexible meal plan. And this is where we fall into.
Yeah, and I would say like we're a perfect example of a flexible meal plan.
Yes, because with this one, we specifically pick ingredients or items and things like that that can be utilized in different ways.
Or in multiple recipes, yeah.
Yes, so that it's exactly like what Tony was saying, where if we get too close to dinner time and we were supposed to be making like burgers or something, and we're not feeling burgers, but we have ground beef and we have our staples of like different cheeses, tomato products, maybe lasagna noodles.
Yeah.
We can make lasagna. So,
and it's happened. That's probably happened more times than we can count.
Generally speaking, if this is the type of meal plan that you would be more interested in, you also are probably more comfortable in your kitchen and have tried out a number of different recipes, so you're more versed and experienced in that, because you're not necessarily needing to be as structured.
Right.
And then for us with our flexible zone, we also include the flexibility of like we might want to eat something out of the house.
Right.
For the week.
Or even perfect example, like just over the weekend, we were out doing some errands and helping family, and it was getting to the point that we're like, we need to get dinner. Like, there's no way that we can just go home and make dinner because it'd be too late. So we ended up just picking something up from the grocery store, from their deli counter or their hot counter.
Yeah, it's kind of just always that one's much more of a go with the flow.
Yeah, definitely. If you're looking at a flexible meal plan, you're ready to just kind of see where the day takes you.
Now, also an upside with flexible meal plans in the sense of like if you're having some picky eaters and allergies and stuff with that, the upside there is that you can also flexibly, like, let's say that your recipe called for asparagus, but your child is never going to eat asparagus, but they'll eat broccoli. Your flexibility in that is that you can just adjust it out to whatever vegetable they will eat.
Right. And that again comes with, like Melissa was saying toward the beginning of that section, being more comfortable in your kitchen and just kind of being more just aware of how your kitchen feels.
Yeah. And if well, really, if any of these meal plans sound like, oh, this is me, which actually you should fall into somewhere, because otherwise it's a little interesting. But if you continue following us here, that's what this whole mini series is going to be about, where we give you tips that kind of coincide with each of these. Now, the next category we're going to fall into is going to be more towards your like meal delivery, meal kits, personal chef services. Now, if your budget's a little bit more flexible in the sense of like, and maybe your timing. Oh, that was a question I forgot. Whoops. It's how much time do you have to cook?
Yeah.
Because there's some people who are like, I love the idea of having meals and all this stuff, but I'm very, very busy.
Yeah,
or I have like a loaded schedule, to where this is what perfectly fits into your schedule because you're just doing quick step recipes or you're having it delivered.
Yeah. And I think just with that, where you do look more towards meal delivery or just having a personal chef, I mean, I just feel there are definitely certain families that fit into that range.
Definitely. Well, we cook for them.
Yeah, we do.
So it's definitely a thing. But, so your meal kits, we all know there's like a slew of different ones that you can order from and things. They've grown in numbers and you see new ones all the time.
All the time.
Those ones are going to be where it's like specific ingredients that are pre-measured.
Yep.
And you just have like quick step, minor prep, cook it, and it's ready to go.
Right.
Now, that one could be a good fit, but you also could be having the dilemma of allergies and picky eaters, because those are not going to be as customizable as working with personal chefs or meal delivery and things like that, because those are going to be ones where you're dealing with, so like the meal kits, you're dealing with big businesses usually, right?
Can be massive.
Whereas if you're dealing with local meal delivery as well as personal chef services, you're dealing with humans. And they can customize a plan to fit you and your family. Of course, that is going to be a bigger budget depending on whether you're going with meal delivery or personal chef services.
Right.
Because, those are two different things.
And they could be provided by the same company. So, like, for us, for example, we do provide both of those services. Now, when you look at our meal delivery, there's going to be a discount comparative to if you were getting our personal chef services.
Which would be coming to your house.
Cooking everything in your house just before dinner. Or
for
just
the
having
week.
it cooked, ready to go in your house for the week. Whereas meal delivery, we end up cooking at our location, deliver it to you, and everything's ready to go for the week.
Right. So, with that being said, we hope you'll continue following us for more meal planning tips and with finding the right meal plan. And we hope that this helped with talking more about different types of meal plans.
Yeah, and if you did find some value, definitely, if you're seeing us on YouTube or on any of our other platforms that we're out on, please give us, just some feedback, give us some love, follow, share.
Yep. If you also want to, start a conversation, any of that, this is also a blog post on our website, twochefmission.com. And in there, we definitely ask for, what are you guys having issues with? What do you love, not love about meal planning, as well as, how can we help you? Because that is our end goal always, is that we want to offer value to you.
Yeah, and we hope that you got value from this, and we hope that you continue to get value from our podcast and anything else that you see us in. And we can't wait to catch you in the next one.